People, deluded, I'm back again. YouTube's Lucas Torreira and all of them things. Deluded. Now, Wojciech Szczęsny has been speaking in regards to his Arsenal, not his whole Arsenal career, in regards to how he actually wanted to stay at Arsenal for his whole career, and actually gave his opinion on a couple other things. So I thought I might as well offer my opinion based on what he said. Before we go into that, we know Wojciech Szczęsny is just one of the many love tales that Arsenal had, especially Arsenal fans, that didn't come to fruition. We had Szczęsny. In an ideal world, it would have been Szczęsny, it would have been Wilshere, Ramsey would sign a new deal, Ox would still be here, Alexis would still be here. We'd have a fantastic blend of the homegrown lads and the star players, but more often than not, that doesn't happen. Romance is dead, and that's something Arsenal have failed to understand for many a year. But cracking on, I liked Szczęsny. I loved Szczęsny, man. He done very well to come back from a double arm break when he was a young player. I'm so sure it was Brentford. He went on loan to Brentford as a young, tried and really untested and inexperienced goalkeeper. He adored himself to them Brentford fans, putting some fantastic performances, and he came to Arsenal and he wasn't perfect. He had moments of madness, to put it nicely, coming off his line, could do better for numerous crosses and several things, but I believe he was a good keeper. He definitely loved the club, and you definitely thought he had potential to develop into something. Now, because of how he was as a club, he was just one of the many players guilty of stagnating or possibly looking like they're not taking it seriously, or that Wenger is allowing them to coast. Something that's been said for many a player, young and old. And for me personally, off the bat, my opinion as to why he's not an Arsenal player anymore, and we bought a keeper and things, is because I think Wenger wanted you, but you broke it. Your antics were the straws that broke the camel's back, because obviously Wenger has to hold his hands up, because he's and it was to his detriment. He's allowing players to continuously underperform, and he's putting his neck on the line for them. I just felt he was putting his neck on the line for you. At times, you just were not repaying it. Your professionalism, which you've admitted weren't exactly the best at times. And I feel that Southampton game, when we lost and you was with the bottle and allegedly smoking after, it wasn't necessarily the fact that you were smoking, because Wenger used to do it himself. I think that was just the latest line of many things, and he just had enough. And that's happened with many players at clubs. And when you just have, it happens to me on Football Manager. I know it happens to you lot as well, people. When players annoy you and it's just, you've had enough, it don't matter how good they are, they're not getting a look in. Was he better than Ospina? Of course. Czech was getting on a bit. It looked like he could be the man to get the mantelpiece, but such was it. He was sold last year. This summer allegedly, making the move to Juventus permanent, cut price fee, and Juventus have got a 28-year-old successor to Buffon for less than 20 million in today's day and age, which is credit to them, but just shows how poor we are at doing business. He was also out of contract next summer, but yeah, if it was up to me, he would have spent his whole career here and he would be our keeper. Well, it is what it is, and his own thoughts, I've mixed up the copy and pasting in people, so I'll just read them out and you take what you want to take from it, innit, people. But from the start, Szczęsny's also opened up on his Arsenal regrets. I wanted to be an Arsenal player for my whole career, he added. It is a club I love. It is the club I still support, he told BBC Sport. I feel I'm a regular guy. I used to smoke a bit. I can't do much about it. I got fined by Arsene. I have massive respect for him, but because it happened at the same time as I lost my spot in the starting lineup, it got massively overblown. Also, he somewhat echoes what I've just said. I was 20 years of age when I started playing in the Premier League. Maybe I wasn't mentally quite prepared for it, and it has earned me a reputation. That's pretty true. That's pretty true, to be honest. I mean, it's a mental thing, and once you get a reputation, it's all done out here, to be fair. And you've got to grow up fast. And many times people forget that these players are still young. I always say, while we shouldn't excuse them, and they should young players especially should hold themselves to high standards because of the spotlight they're in. People need to cast themselves back to how they were at 16 or 20. They weren't the finished article. I don't necessarily believe in forgiving mistakes, but have a bit more open-mindedness. So yeah, sure that broke Arsene's back. It wasn't necessarily the ability, or maybe not even the performances. It just seems like he had enough of your professionalism. You seemed like a bit of a joke or something. Wilshere said as well. He's also, I haven't got the quotes, but he's also said he's grown up a bit, becoming a husband, a father, going through all of these things. Just damn right, getting older has helped him mature, and that's all you can do, man. I'm sure we're all wiser with hindsight. We'd all love to go back in time, whether it's in our school, early life, personal or private relationships, and do things better or correct things. But we need these things to grow as a person. He's also said, I gave everything to play there. I regret not having done more, so that possibly means he regrets not fully grasping the opportunity with full hands, something many players are guilty of. I regret, he said he regrets that. I won 2 FA Cups and a Community Shield, but I would have liked to win at least a Premier League title. But sometimes you have to think with your brain and not your heart. So that shows you that he had to realise and accept that the time at Arsenal, certainly under Arsene, was done. You got to hold up the Roma loans, embrace it, allow it to make you stronger as an individual, and just move forward and just see football for what it is. I've always said one player I rate very highly for his mental outlook of things is Joe Hart. Regardless of what you think of his ability, he's a realist. When it came to Pep Guardiola not bringing him in, he wasn't with this, I'm going to fight for my spot, it's all of this stuff. He kept it moving. He was willing to fight for his spot provided he was given enough encouragement from Pep Guardiola that he could earn it. But once it became clear, it's done. So yeah, also have to think as well, forgive me if I'm wrong, people, but Szczęsny did go this summer, right, permanently. If I'm wrong, I hold my hands up and forgive me for the miscalculation. But if I'm right, and we factor in that Glazida said they were speaking with Unai Emery from early and stuff, surely because of his contract and things like that, Szczęsny has got to come into the conversation. So did Unai Emery confirm or let it be known to Ivan Gazidis that he doesn't quite rate him? He doesn't seem the keeper able to implement how he wants to play and things like that. Because for me, I think Szczęsny could have been the number one, or he could have been a keeper at this club. He knows the club well. He classifies as homegrown. He's 28 years of age, so he wouldn't have had to buy a keeper. And clearly the years away from the club has helped him mature as an individual. But it is what it is. In regards to Juventus, he's also said, which I actually like what he's had to say here. My first thought was that sometimes you have to take a step back to make two forward. When I analysed the situation, it wasn't much of a step back because I knew I was going to play in regards to Juventus. I got 21 games, which is not bad for a second choice keeper. I also had the opportunity to learn from one of the best in history and 1 year to prepare for the job to replace him. It was the best career opportunity I could ever have. I'm proud of the way it has worked out. We can all have difficult moments in our careers, but it's how you react to them that counts. Where I'm at now hasn't come out of the blue. I've earned it, and that's credit to him. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. He was calm. Everybody could recognise it. No one was also necessarily saying you're world class, you're there with the hair and things, but they could recognise you're a good keeper. And yeah, you've the lemons the world's given you, you've turned it into lemonade because you've used the hurt of possibly not ending your career, as you said in your own words, at Arsenal, to putting in a shift at Roma, to firstly getting into Juventus at some capacity, and now you're there, you're playing with Ronaldo, you've worked and learned under Buffon, there's many other reputable players, Allegri, you're playing for a club with high standards, Champions League, shout out for last season against Spurs. What else? Ultimately, you're winning titles what Arsenal can't currently offer you, and there's a possibility of a Champions League. And you've played with one of the best. I know he's got the allegations. I don't want to speak on them, but you've played with one of the best players to have ever played the ball, and definitely top two in history, give or take between your preference between Messi and Cristiano. So you've done that. So it's not half bad, to be fair. And what I've also liked with him as well is that how his outlook on pressure, because obviously replacing a number one like Buffon, whether he's in his peak powers or not, is going to come with a lot of scrutiny. He said, it's easier because I'm not Italian. It means I'll never be the next Buffon. I'll be the new number one keeper of Juventus, and that is it. My only thought process is stopping balls flying into the back of the net. I don't go into games thinking I can't make a mistake because everyone is going to miss Buffon. And that's the right way to look at it. I mean, I slightly disagree, regardless of if you're Polish or Italian, they're still gonna be like, oh, but Buffon, this and that. But I get you. It is what it is. For me, Szczęsny, he's done all right from how his initial period at Arsenal. But the way I look at it, it sounds criminal now because De Gea is a bracket above him. But there was a period, give or take, De Gea could have been better than him. But De Gea and all these other keepers, Buffon, Szczęsny was in and amongst that bracket or in and around it. The problem is, them players kicked on. Everybody knew De Gea was sick. You saw Atletico. It took him a bit to adjust to United, but such was his mentality. He's clear now, and Madrid trying to buy him every summer. Courtois, you know what he's on. There's several other keepers, but Szczęsny for a while just stagnated, and it's nice to see him playing football again. It didn't happen here. It is what it is, but yeah, man, it's nice to see he still supports the club. He still thinks highly of the club. He still rates us and all of them things there. But I've got nothing more to say on this, to be honest. So guys, DG, I'm out. Comment, subscribe, and do the rest if you wish.